Okay, before we get into the video proper, just know that I'm going to be talking about the Wheel of Time series, and even though for the most part I'm going to be talking in very general terms, I will be spoiling a couple of plot points, especially in books 4 and 5. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers, you might want to skip out of this video now. And on that note, hello everyone. I know it's been a hot minute since I've made a video, but I recently gotten the urge to make a new video, and I want to return to one of my old favorite stomping grounds, the Wheel of Time series. And we're not going to be talking about the show or anything like that. I do have opinions on it. Thought it was pretty good, but it had problems. Anywho, the reason we're talking today is because I wanted to talk about the Forsaken. Specifically, the Forsaken that were at when they were at the Sheol when Luce Theron Talman did his strike and resealed the Dark One, and along with him all of those Forsaken. And the reason I bring it up is because why did the Dark One have a meeting with those 13 specific Forsaken? And specifically, why was Asmodean there? Because looking at the surface, it doesn't look like he had much of a reason to be there. I think otherwise, and if we're to illustrate my point, everyone had a reason to be there. I do have notes on my phone, and we're going to go through all the Forsaken one by one and show why they would have been there in the first place. So they would have been there overall, as I think they were just having a staff meeting or whatever, and it actually makes sense. Like I said, it makes sense as to why everyone's there. Now let's go through everyone. First, we got the top 6. The strongest overall, top of the pile. Ishamael, Lanfear, Semiraj, Grendel, Demon Dread, and Samael. And like I said, it makes complete sense that all 6 are there. Ishamael is Nabalist / Chief of Staff. Also, he's on par with Rand, or Luce Theron Talman, sorry. He's on par with the Dragon in terms of overall strength and the power. So that makes sense. Chief of Staff needs to be kept up to date. Lanfear, she's the strongest woman channeler. She is one of the masters of Tal'Anriad, the world of dreams. So that's probably very useful. Also, she's a tad obsessed with Luce Theron Talman, so I imagine that you want the person who is obsessed with your greatest enemy to be there to imagine she probably has some inside dirt or whatever. Next up, you have Semiraj. She is the best healer, and she's kind of a sadist, so you probably want the Doctor Torturer there and let everyone know, let them know of whatever injuries are being healed, as well as whatever information you manage to get out. Grendel, there for a similar reason, only instead of physical healing like Semiraj, she's the main psychologist, so more mental things instead of physical, as well as a touch of compulsion in there. Demon Dread and Samael, there for similar reasons. They're probably the 2 best generals that the Dark has. So all of those 6 make complete sense. The next 3 also make sense to why they're there. They're not quite on the same level as the top 6, but they can't be everywhere, so they're probably also giving status updates. And these 3 are Masana, Ravine, and Belal. Masana, she's just great at organizing things, plus she had her own little pet projects like those roaming armies of children and whatever. So you probably want, she's probably there giving an update as to whatever thing she was organizing. Ravine, he may not be good as Grendel is at mental stuff like compulsion, but he's still very good, and once again, Grendel can't be everywhere. Similar thing with Belal. Belal is a good general, but not as good as Demon Dread or Samael, so useful mid-level types. The next 2 I have here are Mogideon and Balthamel, and the reason those 2 are there is simply because they have the best spy networks. They're probably giving a status update. I know that selfishness is kind of the whole thing with the Dark One, so that I don't know how much of the information they would have shared with the Dark One and how much they just wanted for themselves, but I imagine that as the 2 with the best spy networks, they probably had to give at least some information to the Dark One, and yeah, that's why they're there. Agenor, he's next. kind of a one-trick pony, but that one trick is very good. He gave the Dark One armies and assassins. So, and since he's very much a mad scientist, he's probably has like a whole bunch of weird mad science projects going on. So he's probably given an update on that. And then, finally, we have Asmodean. Now, we have, so far, we have generals, we have the chief of staff, we have people who can extract information, but so where does that leave for Asmodean? Now, let's consider, briefly, what did Asmodean do before the War of Power? He was a musician, right? With this information, I propose that he was actually the propaganda guy. He wasn't just part of the Dark One's meeting simply because he was giving everyone else coffee and donuts or whatever. He was there because he was using his unique skill set as a musician to spread the good word of the dark and how the light is totally gonna fall or whatever, what have you. And yeah, like it makes sense. Like propaganda is used all the time in real life, from songs to art and whatever. So why wouldn't the dark have a propaganda guy? And on a related note, we know that in the timeline of the books, Asmodean gave Couladin those double dragons on his arms. So, and we saw how much strife and discord that caused. I can't imagine he didn't do something similar, given his background as a musician in the Age of Legends during the War of Power. But that's what I got for you. I propose that he was the propaganda guy, and with that, it makes complete sense as to why everyone's there. Like everyone else, he was probably giving a status update or just running by a new propaganda project for everyone. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you later. Bye.